Sabri Subi joins me now in the studio.
I really look at business as an incredible vehicle to really make good and make change in the world.
What's your process when something hits your desk, your inbox, that legit your heart rate spikes, and you get that moments of frustration? What's your next go-to 2 or 3 steps to mitigate or to navigate that situation that most people would never even think of?
So the way that I look at it is I've got, a team of 70 plus now, and, in the beginning where you're it's just started, right? You're if I can get to $1 million, all of my problems are going to go away. And everything, there's going to be this utopian place that I go to, and there's no problems there, and everything's gravy, all right? And the sun's always shining on my back, but that place doesn't exist, and the problems don't go away. They only get bigger and more complex, and you simply need to get stronger and have the mental fortitude to go through those fires, right? So the way that I do it is, by applying mental models to solve problems, i.e. when a problem lands on my desk, right? It's typically the most complex and hardest problem to solve because I have everyone else in my organization to solve all the other questions, right? So it's like an upside down pyramid where all of the other problems that aren't so hard to get solved and the ones that arrive on your desk are the very most difficult ones to solve. And so I don't try and solve those problems from scratch every time. I apply mental models, so critical thinking, and have a look at, okay, this information that's coming in, let me question it. How is it coming in? Who is the person that's presenting it to me? What is the motives? To whom would benefit if I don't solve this problem or if I do solve it? What's the 80-20 rule on it? What are the 20% of components that's going to give me 80% of the upside? And then also applying inversion thinking, right? And thinking about what would be the inverse of this happening, right? A way to do that is okay, instead of thinking about how do I generate happy customers, think about how do I generate unhappy customers, and then just do the opposite of what that is, right? So I have a bunch of different mental models and frameworks that I use lattice work that I apply to any problem that I come against. And this is just because problem solving is a muscle that you need to grow over time and you need to flex. And if you're looking at every single problem that comes into your business or into your life with fresh eyes, and you're not applying framework, it just takes too much mental RAM and you'll never get through it. So that's kind of my process. I never ever stress out and freak out about those things because I know that I can get through anything. I've been through enough adversity to know that I can get through this. If I'm determined enough and I'm creative enough with my thinking, and I just take a moment to reflect on those things using mental models.
I like it, man. And that's a phenomenal way to look at it. And because I think most people, they jump in it's new every time. It's it should be a process that you can refine and get better at over time. I always look at when I start scaling up, I have to delegate stuff, that there is a difficult barrier. Right now we're working on some new programs and we're launching stuff that the sales team is not phenomenal at what they're doing. So I'm I want to jump in and do stuff, right? How do you get to the point of just pulling back and let them just pretty much take craps on the phone a couple times before you do, what's your method, your process for how you train people past the headaches that you wish you could jump in and do?
Yeah, and look, unfortunately, that is always going to be the case, more often than not. I won't say always, but typically, the rule of if you can find someone that does something 80% as good as you, that is good enough, right? And especially when you hire new salespeople and you just hear them saying all the wrong things on a call, or steering things down the wrong way, and you're dude, but it's one of those things where you have to get okay with that, and you have to understand that in order to scale an organization, you have to become a leader, and you have to look at ways that you can build in systems and procedures that tries to eliminate as much of that as physically possible. For me in my business, we've got sales scripts for the first call, for the second call, for follow-ups, for voicemails, for emails, for everything, and looking at removing all human error as much as possible. And even if it's not a sales environment, if you're running Facebook ads or building out a funnel, is having checklists in place where in order to push that thing live or to set that client live, There are things that must get ticked off in order to get them done. Because when you're scaling a business, you're really only as good as your systems.
Yeah, that's true, man. I learned that. I used it out in the gym years ago, and it was a crap show for like years. And someone's like, "No, bro, you need to have some SOPs. Like, if you don't have that, then nobody has a job. They're just in there hanging out until you tell them what to do. And they don't care about the business like you do. So they'll just do stuff till they get fired." I was like, "Oh, okay, I gotta do thinking now." It's a whole different monster. This is like business growth, right? You've grown, I'm assuming, like multiple seven figures. If it's the biggest, you're growing. I don't even have to ask for the number, right? But do you find that at certain, let's call it, points in time financially, do all of a sudden you say like maybe like around $1 million, like 1.5, is there a certain level that people should look at and say, when I grow to this, I should anticipate having to expand or grow, or like certain types of problems that they may not see?
Yeah, sure. So we're well into the 8 figures as a business, and the way that I've tried to done it, I don't have like, okay, when we had $1 million in revenue, this is what we had to do. The way that I look at it is constantly trying to make myself redundant in my business. So I've got this exercise called the King's Audit, and that's basically where you audit your time and you have a look at where it is going. And your goal as the business owner is constantly to make sure that you are working on the highest value tasks that you possibly can. So I'm of the belief as like you should be spending 80% of your time on revenue generating activities and the growth of your business, right? When you're doing that, it's like you need to look at all of the things that you're doing in your business and make sure that you're focusing a disproportionate amount of time on things that are going to ring the cash register and bring the money in so that you can afford to hire more people. And it's a constant evolution, right? Because in the beginning, you might be like, okay, I'm doing a lot of client fulfillment work. I'm doing a lot of coaching calls, right? Okay, the first thing that I need to do is find someone to do that. And then I need to spend more of my time on the telephones. And then I need to hire another salesperson, and I need to buy time. And then I need to hire another salesperson. And it just, that doesn't stop. It goes all the way up until you can get into the position where you can hire a general manager who runs the day-to-day of the business, and you are no longer working in the business, you are only working on the business, because that's the highest leverage tasks. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We're dropping a video like this almost every single day on YouTube. And if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments box below with hashtag HeySabri, and I'll do my best to get in there and get that answered.